Hello everyone, here is Pi, and I'm here to give you some tips on how to find love and how to preserve it in the long run. Have you suffered from unhappy relationships in the past, or are you currently having one? If yes, I'm going to help you reckon the reasons that drag you into unhappy relationships and how to convert them into happy and secure relationships. First of all, I want you to know that there are three main categories of attachment styles. Everybody has to fall within these three categories. So the most common one is a secure attachment style, which is the one we always seek for. In the secure attachment style, both parties feel loved and cared for. So there's nothing to discuss about that at the moment. But where unhappy relationships are, there is definitely one insecure attachment style involved. There are two insecure attachment styles: the anxious attachment style and the avoidant attachment style. Statistically speaking, females tend to have more anxious attachment style, whereas males tend to have more avoidant attachment style. So what I mean by saying anxious and avoidant? In summary, anxious people tend to keep their partners as close as possible, physically and emotionally, whereas avoidant people tend to keep their partners at an arm's length. How to spot a partner with an avoidant attachment style and what to do with them. If you're a partner that has an avoidant attachment style, it's difficult not to see it. They always give mixed signals, such as once they tell you you're their future partner, and the next day they don't even tell you how much they love you or they don't miss you. They tell you they have future plans with you one day, and for the rest of the time they don't ever talk about it again. They tell you they want to move in with you, and then for a month they never talk about it. Or they change their plans because you did something different. They didn't like the way you eat or that you talk with other people. They don't like your attitudes in the social platforms. They don't like the photos that you post on Instagram. It's very important not to miss the mixed signal signs if you are dating an avoidant attached partner. Because one day they give you so much attention that you feel like a queen or king. And the next day they act like they don't even care about you. They don't call, they don't message a lot. And even if you're sick, they don't worry about you. But once they come back to you, they give you so much that you feel loved again. So this ambivalence tells you that you're already dating an avoidant partner. And this ambivalence also makes you feel neglected once, and the next day you feel the passion again. And that may deceive you. That may deceive you to think you're with someone that cares for you. And the only reason that they don't give you enough attention is that they're too busy with their life and their workload. But these excuses never come to an end. The other sign for avoidant attachment style is the need for independence and the emphasis on it. Every time they talk about a relationship, they somehow manage to bring the subject to independence. They either complain about your dependency on them, or they talk about how independent they are with their life and how can they manage everything on their own. They're too independent and they don't need anyone, including you. They don't want to share their problems with you, even though you're their closest, you're their partner. They always are very independent, and they also want you to be independent. So they want a relationship that is not a relationship somehow. Another sign is they constantly underrate you and or their exes. They find flaws in you. They don't like your eating habits, talking habits, lifestyle habits, the things that you do. They are masters at finding flaws in you. And you feel much worse after you date them. So think of yourself before meeting them and after meeting them. There is a loss of confidence after meeting them because they are really good at humiliating you and finding all the flaws in you and making them bigger in your eyes. And when you keep fearing them from your partner, you think he might be right or she might be right in saying this because this person is the closest to me, and if he sees these flaws, I might be flawed in case you are not, because these people are masters in finding flaws and making you feel worse. Another thing is they like their distance. Even though they want to be physical at times, most of the time they want to have the distance. So they have all the techniques to distance you away from them, emotionally and physically. You can also find yourself hearing a lot of boundaries from him or her, because they want to have their boundaries, they want to have their time and space, but more than a regular person. Even though you're their partner, they want to spend more time on themselves or with their friends and family rather than you. They always put an emphasis on the boundaries. They want you to realize they have a separate life from you and you shouldn't intervene in that. And this talk is so constant. After a while, you feel like you're somebody that intervenes, that introduces, and that makes you feel like you're the clingy one, even though you're not. They also have very unrealistic and romantic views on relationships. They tend to idealize their partners. Their partners should be nearly perfect in many ways. They should be incredibly pretty, incredibly clever, incredibly rational, incredibly distant at times, and incredibly intimate at times. They know what to do at every time. They are the things that they need, and these people are either from their past, like an ex, or somebody that they haven't met yet. So you're never enough for them. They're either waiting for that person to come into their lives, or they're missing their ex madly. So you're not ever enough, because they have the perfect person either to come or to go back to. Even though they don't give much in relationships, they're most of the time the ones that claim to be giving so much and being used in the end. They have these paranoid thoughts about being used and their insecurities. Also, they have these strict rules that can't be crossed. For example, their partners should be amazing. They should tick all of their boxes. And if they lack one of the boxes, the person is out. Whenever you want to talk about your problems with them, they either withdraw to their shell or they leave. They don't like talking about problems and they don't want to solve them. They're not solution oriented. They're mostly nothing oriented.